Give me that. Here. Yeet. Go. I'm open. Kobe. Hey everybody, welcome back. We last left off heading into Anotha via the magic carpet from Polovnich, so now let's finish up the last portion of our desert circuit for now. We're going to go east to the herbalist and pay them 200 coins to clean our grimy herb, satisfying an easy diary task. Then we're going to go south to the bank to pull out some telegraph runes before going northeast to the mayor's house to start Spirits of the Elid up until the point that we get the robes and telegraph the key. Then we're going to go back to the bank to prepare for a little jaunt to soften him to do Icthlarin's little helper. Well, we will in a moment, but first there's a couple things I realized I need to do. One of those is get 2 buckets of sap, one for the quest we're about to do and one for Ice of Gluffery later on. And 2, I need some anti-poisons, so I'm going to minigame teleport to Castle Wars, pull out a knife and 2 buckets, run north to where the super anti-poison 1 spawns outside of the observatory dungeon, world hop 8 to 12 times to get 2 or 3 full potions worth of that. Then I'm going to Artie Cape teleport to the monastery, use the knife on an evergreen tree nearby to get 2 buckets of sap, run east to the fairy ring, take it to the fairy ring north of Anotha, and then run back into town. And now we're going to prepare to do a run through Softening. That means pulling out everything we need for Icthlarin's little helper, as well as a couple diary tasks. And one thing to note is that we need both ranged and melee attack styles because one of the enemies you fight during the quest is random between 4 options, so you want to make sure you've got all your bases covered. Now let's head southwest to the Wanderer's camp, kill a vulture on the way to satisfy an easy diary task, and then talk to the Wanderer to start Icthlarin's little helper and get inside Softening. Because the entirety of the quest takes place in Softening, we're just going to skip right through it and get to the end. One thing I do want to note is that the first time you speak to the Sphinx, it'll ask you a riddle, and if you tell it the wrong answer, it'll take your cat and you have to get a new one, so just pay attention to the quest text. Finishing the quest awards us with an Amulet of Catspeak, which we'll need for A Tale of Two Cats, 4,500 Thieving Experience, and 4k Agility and Woodcutting Experience. Bumping us up to level 38 Thieving, so we can now steal from Master Farmers whenever we need seeds, 36 Agility, and also 38 Woodcutting. Remember, at 42 Woodcutting, we'll get the next level of Canoes, so that'll be the next upgrade there. Okay, before leaving Softening, we need to do the first 2 rooms of Pyramid Plunder so we can get some thieving experience, but specifically so that we can open the sarcophagus inside the first room to satisfy another easy diary task. Keep any of the artifacts you get inside the minigame, as when we're done, we're going to run out of the town and to the northeast to the Agility Pyramid, where we will sell our artifacts to Simon Templeton to get around 1k or so cash depending on how long you were inside the minigame, and to finish up the last easy diary task. Of course, I'm going to Clan Wars back, but by the time this video is aired, the July 16th update came in and Clan Wars is no longer south of the duel arena, so we will have to make a dueling ring to come back next time. However, I will talk a little bit more about that in a moment, but we're going to Clan Wars teleport and run northwest to Ollie Morrisane to turn in the Feud quest, gaining the ability to blackjack, 500 coins, and 15,000 thieving experience, bumping us up to around level 42 thieving. Then, again, here's something we're going to talk about in a minute, but for now I'm going to go south to Alcard Castle, talk to Hassan to start Prince Holly Rescue, then go outside to talk to Osman, and then when we're in Draenor next, we'll continue the quest. Here's where I choose to craft a dueling ring, and then after that we're going to go south to the Shantae Pass to get our easy diary rewards. Of course, use the lamp on Herblore, and now we've got level 36, which means we can kill some desert goats and use their horns to make combat potions. However, it will require using Harlanders, which I'm trying to save up on to make energy potions for Monkey Madness, so we'll see what we do with those. Let's take a quick aside to discuss a couple recent location changes, as well as some missed opportunities for quests and other things we could have either started or completed by now, that either I found myself while running through the route or have read from YouTube comments. For starters, with the July 16th update, Clan Wars is no longer south of Duel Arena and is instead in the wilderness, so the minigame teleport will no longer teleport us to Alcarid. Shouldn't be a big deal, but it does mean we'll need to use more dueling ring charges or law runes unless we make a point of using the gnome glider. Also, on episode 8's video, Xrelee commented that with a recent update, most likely the Darkmire one in the middle of June, the room we fought the skeletal hellhound in the Search of the Mire queue was completely changed, and that the hellhound no longer drops 4 big bones, but apparently you can still safe spot it, so that's good. When it comes to missed opportunities or things we could have integrated earlier on, Prince Ollie Rescue, Rag and Bone Man, Alfred Grimhand's Bar Crawl, Ernest the Chicken, and part of Giant Dwarf make the list. I'm sure there's more, but the route document is always being updated as I find new things, so future runs will be more and more efficient. The two biggest ones there that we missed out on are the bar crawl and the Rag and Bone Man, because as pointed out to me on episode 7's video by Just a Blitz Prank, we've walked past every single bar location required for the bar crawl, so we could have finished that up efficiently. Same thing for the Rag and Bone Man. Somebody private messaged me in game, and I can't recall who, apologize there, but mentioning that we've walked past every single animal required for the quest, so we could have done that, got 500 cooking and prayer experience, and then started Rag and Bone Man 2, completed part of it by now, and be on our way toward 5k prayer experience, which would be really helpful in trying to get us up to level 43 prayer for Protect from Melee. The silver lining here though is that by this point we have all the teleports needed to complete both of those quests as fast as possible. Alright, that's mostly to clue you in on the rest of the video, so I'll let that sink in. And for now, we're going to go to the Kindarin Monastery area to chop some oaks to get level 30 fletching for Zogre Flesh Eaters. Note that you don't actually need 30 fletching for the quest, but you need 30 fletching in order to make your own ogre composite bow, which, as I mentioned probably 2 or 3 times already, shoots 1.8 seconds faster than the ogre comp bow, so that should help getting 30 Chompy KC for the Western Provinces Easy Diary go a lot faster. Plus, we were only a couple levels away and it didn't take that long at all. After getting 30 fletching, we're going to minigame teleport to Castle Wars and gear up for Zogre Flesh Eaters, which we're going to start by running out of Castle Wars and going south to Jigig. Once we do the first part and we're required to go to Yanil, we're going to run east to the Yanil entrance, continue the quest at the bar, and then go to the northeast, take the agility shortcut, do a practice run at the Nightmare Zone to clear our disease for free, and then we're going to go south to continue the quest by talking to Savistic Rarv, and we're going to continue it up until we learn how to make Relisim's Balm, and then we're going to go back to the bank. Be sure to keep the Black Prism, as once we finish Shiloh Village, we can turn it into Yani Salika for 5,000 coins in the town. Also, keep the sample bottle at the end of the quest because it's required for Blemish Oil during Hero's Quest. You can buy them in Canifis, but since we've got one right here, might as well keep it. Alright, now let's prepare to finish the quest. Remember to make a Relisim's Balm, which is a vial of water, plus a Rogue's Purse, plus a Snakeweed, both of which we acquired during Jungle Potion way back when. And we're going to give that to Ugglugnar, who stands next to the quest giver Grish, because he will not only pay us 650 coins, but he will also open up access to a shop where we can buy Achi logs and more Relisim's Balms. Speaking of Achi logs, I got an interesting early firemaking tip from my fellow Ironman Iron Lee, who said once you unlock the shop, you can buy the Achi logs, which are 4 GP each, and fire make them right nearby. So if you're just going for fire making levels, you don't need to worry about chopping them. You can just buy them from the store, burn them right there, buy more, and there you go. Alright, let's go kill this boss, which by the way does use ranged and melee, but if you stand behind the plinth, it can only use ranged. After killing him, he will drop 3 Org Bones and 2 Zogre Bones, and we're going to keep those to use on the Ectofunctus, as that'll give us 4 times the XP. And in total, I believe it'll give us something like 1860 prayer experience, which is a nice quest XP reward. Speaking of quest experience rewards, let's turn in Zogre Flesh Eaters. We can now make brutal arrows, and if you talk to Grish and ask him about there being a better way to kill Zogres, he'll tell you how to make the Ogre Comp Bow, and we get 2000 ranged, fletching, and herblore experience, bumping us up to 34 ranged, 31 fletching, and 37 herblore. Alright, now, in preparation to get 30 Chompy KC for the Easy Diary, we need to go get some wolf bones, not only for arrows to kill the Chompies with, as I only have 15, but to make the Ogre Composite Bow. So we're going to pull out all our range gear to kill some wolves, as well as a Draman Staff, our RD Cape, and of course the axe, knife, and chisel and feathers to make the items. We're going to RD Cape teleport to the monastery, refill our prayer, go to the fairy ring, take it to the filled up hills, and then go northeast to kill some wolves. Of course, turning the first set of bones we get along with some Achi logs into an unstrung ogre compo, and then the rest into ogre arrows. I do want to point out that when I got the Slayer tasks from Mashna for the Mortana Easy Diary, that it did get wolves. So I have 17 almost level 18 Slayer, which conveniently we need for Animal Magnetism, but for anyone else running the route, they would have an entirely different task and would not have the Slayer levels I do. So at some point when we're going to do Animal Magnetism, I'll bring up Slayer again to mention what can be done as an alternative. After getting what ends up being way more than enough arrows, we need to head northeast into Rance's Cave to get several more Ogre Bellows to make hunting Chompies that much faster. If you're like me and you forgot the one we got from the quest in the bank, You do need to bring it, as you cannot get any more than the one you have, so we have to use the drop trick method. After getting 10 or so bellows, we're going to minigame teleport back to, you guessed it, Castle Wars, and we're going to prepare to kill 30 Chompies, as well as get a few more diary tasks done, hence the pickaxe and bird snare. Also the drama staff and Arctic Cave, of course. We're going to run out of the Castle Wars and go southwest to the Chompy hunting grounds, fill up all of our bellows, and start hunting Chompies. If you actually can manage to keep enough toads up on the ground, Chompies keep dropping like flies, and it actually doesn't end up taking that long after all. Plus we get the range experience we need for Spirits of the Elid, which requires level 37. Now that we've killed 30 Chompies in total, we need to take the nearby fairy ring to the Feldab Hills area and go talk to Rans to receive our first Chompy bird hat, which satisfies an easy diary task. Then we're going to run back to the fairy ring and take it to the area south of the Piscator's fishing colony. Go northeast and mine some iron rocks to satisfy
another one.
Then run straight south to use the bird snare to catch a copper longtail, satisfying
another one.
And now we're going to minigame teleport to pest control, which would have been a diary task, but we already did that. And now we actually need to play a novice round of pest control to satisfy yet another easy diary task. So along with that, we're going to pull out some Varrock teleport runes, an axe, a knife, and a bowstring, and play the match. After completing that, we'll get a few hundred coins and 3 points. Alright, let's finish up these easy diary tasks. So we're going to teleport to Varrock and run to the spirit tree to take it to the gnome stronghold. There should be an oak tree nearby, which we're going to cut down and turn that into an oak shortbow for
another one.
Then we're going to run a lap of the gnome agility course for another task. And then we're going to head west, and although we've already teleported to the Rune Essence Mine via Brimstale, that would be another stop we'd make. And further west, we're going to kill a terror bird inside of the enclosure for another easy diary task. Go north, score a golden gnome ball for another one, and then go to the swamp to pick up some toad legs to finally satisfy the final easy diary task. We're going to head back southeast to the Elder Gnome Child to pick up our rewards. Of course, we're going to use the lamp on herb lore, and we're a solid or 20 XP away from level 38. And I think we're going to call it there. Thanks again for joining, everybody. We'll see you next time. Hoping by episode 15 that we'll be doing Monkey Madness. We'll see how things go.